Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a fantabulous video. As you can tell by my amazing accessory on my face that it is currently during the pandemic. Yay! So if this is some vast future date like 2023 or 2024, and you're like, oh wow, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was terrible. I hope it's done by then. And if it isn't, well, then I hope you like Maskne, because you're about to turn 13, you're going to get tons of zits under there. So good news, everyone. Free acne covers every day at school. Yeah, all right. All right, so let's go on. Textbook 3.7, grade 8s. Please open 3.7. And a reminder, we're shooting a video that will be on YouTube. So Helga, if you could refrain from saying people's names. You got that, Humperdinck? All right, make sure. No saying names, because I want to put this on YouTube. For those of you in YouTube land, there is no Helga or Humperdinck in here, because who would do that to their child? All right, and if your name's Humperdinck, I'm sorry. No, really. Let's move on. We're going to divide whole mixed numbers by mixed numbers. Now, grade 8s, you've got all of this already, because you've done dividing whole numbers by fractions. You've done fractions by fractions. Now we're just putting one extra step in there. And if you have avoided number lines like the plague, congratulations, you're going to get hit by the plague, because we're doing some number lines again. So right now I'm on 3.7 in the grade 8 textbook, so you can't see it in the video, but all of you in this class should see it. And if you don't have this textbook because you're not in this class, then you're a creeper. Get off YouTube. So using a number line, we're going to do 4 2/5 divided by 1 1/2. This is on page 142 of your textbook, but please don't look yet. I want you to try it first. So first, let's get a number line on our show-me boards. 4 2/5. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on my number line. There we go. And I know I've got 4 2/5, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 2/5. 4 2/5. There, I've got it on my number line. Now it says we're going to divide it into 1 1/2s. So let's be really silly. Let's pretend you're like little kids and you have 4 2/5 cookies, right? So Helga says, hey Humperdinck, how many cookies you got there?
I have 4 cookies and 2/5, or 4.4 to be precise.
And then you say, oh, well, could I like 1 1/2 cookies per serving. You want to share with me? And he's like, all right. And then Norbert says, I'd like 1 1/2 cookies. And it goes on and on. And so Humperdinck's trying to figure out how many kids can he share 1 1/2 cookies with. Well, if this is 1 cookie, 2 cookie, 3 cookie, 4, let's get those halves. Let's make a jump first. Let's get Helga's jump in there. Can you make a 1 1/2 jump? Do a 1 1/2 jump. That's Helga's cookie. So give me a 1 1/2 jump on your number line right now that you drew on your show me board that I asked you to have out. There we go. There's your 1 1/2 jump. And if you recall, then Norbert came up to Humperdinck and said,
I also like 1 1/2 cookies.
Do you realize how ridiculous these videos must look to anyone not in class?
Yes.
See, because everyone in class knows that this is actually really fun humor, right? Yeah, I know I'm lame. Here we go. There's Norbert's jump. We good so far? And then Barnaby comes up. Don't you just love these names? Barnaby goes, whoa. Oh, wait, I don't quite have room for the end of that jump. It looks like I just exceeded here, because 4 2/5, but I needed 4 1/2, and 4 2/5 is just shy. So my estimate so far is 3 minus a bit. Does that sound all right? Not quite 3 servings are being done here. Does that make sense? And it's just like a tiny bit. But that's kind of a hard bit to figure out, don't you think? like what, like you're trying to find the difference between 4.5 and 4 2/5. It's a very tiny bit. Now, if you look over on page 142, you'll see that there's just a tiny bit left over. So how do I find the difference then between 4.5 and 4 2/5? Because the fifths and the halves, they don't really jive well together, do they? So what do we do with fractions when they don't jive together well? What do we do? If I have two fractions, a common denominator, you've got it. You've got it. Barnaby is a smart young man. You want to be Barnaby this morning? All right. Can I call you Barbie for short? All right. Gotcha, Barnaby. Well, let's take it around then. Let's rewrite this question. I got 4 2/5 and 1 1/2. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make these into improper fractions. So on your show me board, can you make that into an improper fraction, please? 4/5. Let's see, if I got 4/5, that's going to be 20 plus the 2. Divided by, make this into an improper fraction. How many halves are 1 1/2? That's 3 halves. Now I want a common denominator, as Barnaby pointed out. Call it out, what's my common denominator? 10, you got it. Well, if that's 10, that's times 2 times 2. Same top bottom all the time. Now I got 44 tenths divided by 15 tenths. And now we've got a few ways we could do this, couldn't we? Right? Like, you could look at it on the number line and probably snap that answer up. Or, we got two methods we practiced in class. Do you remember those two methods? We had the flip-flip, or flip-flop, and the crisscross. So I'm going to go for the flip-flip. I'm going to flip this sign and flip this fraction here. So we're still rewriting. I'm going to go, leave the first one, flip, flip.
Is it all 44 divided by 50?
We looking good so far? Or have I made any mistakes so far? I'm not sure. Oh wait, 15. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, no, we're good. Now 44 divided by, or times 10, well that's going to be 440. 10 times 15, that's going to be 150. Well, now I've got 2 and 90 over, no wait, 2 and 140 over 150, don't I? Could I simplify that?
Yeah.
I can make that a little easier?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to pause that video while you simplify, because I want to give you a moment to finish. There we go. And so we simplified it. We divided that by 10, got 2, 14 over 15. If you look on page 172, you'll notice that you nailed it just nicely. Now, I'm going to surprise you with this, but this is pretty much the entire lesson. Now let's do another example. We're going to go to example 2 though. We're going to go to 144, example 2. Now don't look yet. I want you doing it with me here at the board first before you start doing a looky-loo. Now, if you want to write it on your board, you can get started. We're going to start with the number line, and you're going to go 3 3/4 divided by 3/4. And this is going to be a direct review of last week. Three 3/4 divided by 3/4. All right, let's see if you can get this before I do. Get your number line. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think I know the
We're
answer.
splitting into quarters.
Oh, that one's not terrible at all.
Oh yeah, we did the harder one first. Now I'm giving you the easy one. Okay, so your challenge, you're going to fill in this number line. Then you're going to do it symbolically. And that means you've got to change that fraction to an improper fraction. Then you can either do the flip or the crisscross. And then you're going to see if it looks like your estimate from your numbered line. So I'm going to pause the video while our students get that together. All right, a lot of students were like good to go. That was really easy because of how much work we've already done this year on this stuff. So this time, I put it down. I've got 15 quarters because 3 3/4 is 15 quarters. This time I tried the crisscross method instead because some of you, who likes crisscross? All right, there's the crisscross. 4 times 3 is 12. 15 times 4 is 60. 60 over 2, well, that's just 5. So let's see if I'm right. 3/4 jumps. 3, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, and that is indeed 3 3/4. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps. We counted succinctly, just like a happy 4-year-old on Sesame Street. And as 4-year-olds on Sesame Street, you give yourself a little self-clap because you did a good job. How many of you right now are feeling like we're good to go? All right, if you're in this zone, then you're good to go. Let's get her done. It's a shorter lesson this week because this is a culmination of a few weeks. I look forward to answering your questions, and for those of you who are in the future watching this video noticing that you're still wearing a mask and that COVID is around, darn it. Darn us all.